So I just picked up this car. I'm very excited to share it with you. It's a Lamborghini Gallardo Superleggera. Very rare car. Made in 2008. They made two editions of this. One in 2008 and one, I believe, in 2011. This is a really interesting Lamborghini, and I'm really excited to share it with you. For the US, they only made 152 of these, I believe, and only 52, as far as I'm aware, were actually orange. So this is a very rare car, very special, very unique piece of automotive history that I'm excited to share with you. I noticed there's not a lot of videos out there on Gallardo Superleggeras, probably because they're so rare. And now that I have this one, it's really exciting to share with you all the intricacies of the car and what makes this car so much more unique than just a regular run-of-the-mill Gallardo, which in itself is a very unique and special car. This car is even a little bit more special than a regular Gallardo Superleggera. I'll share that with you at the end of the video, so stay tuned. I'm pretty excited to show you that as well. I believe this car actually might be the highest mileage Superleggera in the world. But you can't really tell from the outside. It's absolutely spectacular. It really is. It looks like inside and out, and in the engine bay, it looks like the car literally just came off the factory showroom floor. And it's just absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. You can't tell the car's aged by just looking at it. It really is amazing. So I'm going to start it up and show you a cold start of the exhaust. Factory exhaust. Sounds amazing. And then we're going to take it for a drive and then park it, and I'll show you all the details that make the Superleggera such a unique car, such a special piece of automotive history that really should be kept in pristine condition and driven and enjoyed like this car was. So stay tuned. I'm really excited to share this car with you, share this piece of automotive history. So here we are in the Lamborghini Gallardo Superleggera. I don't know if you heard the squeaky brakes. I think it's just cold. It's about 35 degrees out today. So I actually tried to make this clip a little bit earlier, but I got pulled over for the first time in like 6 years.
Okay, this is 2008?
Yes, sir.
Man.
I know, it's pretty amazing. Do you want to see the inside?
Did you have to drive down there to get it?
Yes, sir, I did. Yeah, so it's a special edition.
Okay.
It's called Superleggera.
Yeah.
So special seats, carbon fiber doors,
yeah,
carbon fiber everywhere.
Okay.
It's a very special car.
Okay. All right,
Very
man. Just
unique.
sit tight for me.
Okay. So that's always an interesting experience. He let me off. That's the first time that's ever happened too. So that's kind of cool too. So I'm just gonna go to a spot I know that's a little bit more open and a little bit more quiet, so I can shift the car a little bit, and you might be able to hear the motor, and I'll talk to you about the transmission, because it's kind of one of those hotly contested things that came in this car, and a lot of people like them and a lot of people hate them, and it's the E-gear transmission. So you had two options in this car, and in the regular Gallardo, you had the manual transmission and you had the e-gear. So for the Superleggera, I believe only 10 of them in the whole entire world actually came from the factory with an e-gear, so, or a manual. So the rest are e-gear, and all an e-gear really is just an automated manual. So instead of shifting with a clutch and a shifter, you just have a set of paddles. But surprisingly, the gearbox internals are actually the same. But I really do think that these earlier e-gears really fit the Gallardo. It gives it so much soul and passion and spirit that I feel like you'd miss out on if you had like a dual clutch. I really do. It kind of is more of a muted experience. Like if you drive the Huracan, it's a very different experience. The Huracan's insane in its own right, but it just would have a different feel to the car. Like I'm gonna shift up in a second right here. It's just excellent, And power out of that. There we go. So, you know, if I'm not doing full throttle, I let off the gas like I would in a manual transmission car, and it just makes the shift so much smoother. And it really is something that you have to learn, but once you get the hang of it, it's just excellent. It really fits the car, and it's something that honestly, like I couldn't see this car without, and it's one of the reasons I bought the car. You know, the Aventador has a very, very, very similar system. It's a lot more refined than this. This e-gear is miles behind the e-gear in the Aventador, with the same single clutch automated manual that you'd see in that as well. But this one is just so much more raw and visceral and emotional. It's really something, if you haven't experienced it, that you really should. It's just so much more fun. But the manual, you know, I know I can do a manual swap, and it's really not that big of a deal to do that, honestly. But I don't know, I might do that, but it might take a little bit of the soul out of the car at the same time. And that's just my thoughts on that, at least. So next you're going to see the car. I'm going to do a little quick walk around with it, and I'll show you all the things that are special to the Superleggera. And I'm excited to show you, you know, how special this car is and how special this piece of automotive history really is. So here we are. I got here okay. Surprisingly, got pulled over. It's the first time I've been pulled over in maybe 7 years, 8 years, something like that. The guy let me off. I was very surprised. I honestly deserve a ticket, but you get what you get. So yeah, what's so special about the Superleggera comparative to a regular Gallardo? For one, you have carbon ceramic brakes, 380 millimeter on the front and the rear. Very nice brakes. And then you have special Superleggera wheels, titanium lug nuts, special trim. Going inside is where this car is just absolutely stellar. The full carbon door cards, and they're just amazing for the mileage on this car. I want you guys to guess, when you look at this car, I want you guys to guess what the mileage is on this. That's my VIN because of the cops. It's okay though. Special Superleggera seats with the stitching. These are regular Gallardo seats, but they've been finished in Alcantara. And then there's a stripe that goes on the floor mats and on the seat itself and on the roof liner in Alcantara with the color of the car. And the whole dash is in Alcantara as well. this car is in just absolutely perfect in condition in the interior. All the buttons are in perfect shape. Absolutely flawless. Like most of the time you see these, and these are like the soft touch buttons like that you see in like a normal Audi Volkswagen Group product from the early 2000s. And the buttons are usually all messed up and mushed up and in bad shape. They've seen better days. So amazing about this car is that it's, for its age, it's in perfect factory condition. There's no modifications on it whatsoever. Again, we have a carbon fiber boot lid with a special Superleggera wing. A lot of guys put this wing on to the regular Gallardos, and it just really completes the car. It really does. This whole thing is a piece of carbon fiber. Well, multiple pieces, and then they're bonded together, of course. The transparent bonnet is polycarbonate, and then the engine is 5-liter even fire V10. How much mileage do you think this has on it? I want you to guess. Let me know. What do you think? A little bit of wear. Characteristic of the car, right? You have the heat shield for the exhaust. Like, this looks like it's either powder coated on, maybe, or painted, and a little bit of chipping off, but it's there still. You know, somebody didn't remove it. Even stock catalytic converters, which aren't really bad, aren't really the best for this motor, but they're even there still. This car is just in wonderful shape. Carbon diffuser. That's actually the transmission, actually. So the Graziano 6-speed is kind of pokes out of the back a little bit. Phenomenal. The first gen taillights. Not a lot of people like these taillights, but I don't understand why they went with the second gen, because you can physically feel heat coming out of the back of this. So I don't know why they decided to cover that up and go with a design that might have been a little bit less considerate of thermal management. Maybe they're trying to well, this is where the intakes are, so the air from the motor actually comes into this inlet right here, and then I think there's some sort of plenum box in here. I haven't taken that apart yet to look at it, but it comes into the air box and then into the motor. And what's so surprising about this is that I would imagine for a Volkswagen Group vehicle that this would have mass airflow sensors, but it doesn't. It's very surprising. For emissions and everything like that, like most cars, these, even of this generation, are mass airflow sensor based. So it's really interesting to find something that can pass emissions without using a mass airflow sensor, assuming they're using speed density for their fuel trim calculations for this one. But it's naturally aspirated, so it's probably not that hard for Lamborghini to tune, honestly. There's no tune on this one. I don't really plan on tuning it. You can't really get much out of a naturally aspirated motor. So what are my plans for the car? You know, everyone's going to say twin turbo or something crazy, but I don't know. The way I view it, it's just stewardship, right? It's such a unique piece of automotive history that it's something that, there we go. It's something that I just want to keep perfectly stock, just the way it is, because it's perfect just the way it is. All right, so everyone guessed what the mileage was on this car. Everyone can guess. I'll show you the actual mileage. I said it was the highest mileage Lamborghini Gallardo Superleggera in the whole entire US, or the world for that fact. And there it is. $112,498. About 1,000 of those are mine too. So that's always fun. I was going to show you what made this car so much more unique and special comparative to other Gallardo Superleggeras. It's what's under the hood that not a lot of people see that makes this car so special. Right here, it's been signed by Valentino Balboni, famous Lamborghini test driver. He retired in 2008, I believe. And I think by the time he was retired, he's driven almost 80% of the Lamborghinis ever produced. They actually made a special edition Lamborghini Gallardo just for him. Rear-wheel drive, a little bit less horsepower, but I heard it's a totally visceral experience. And you don't see that. Not often, at least. So, very special for a Lamborghini enthusiast. It really is. So if you'd like to see more content like this, more videos of my car, of this special piece of automotive history, I'd love to share it with you. I'm going to be fixing it up and making sure everything's OEM original and in perfect condition, just like it came out of the factory. I'd like to hear what you think about my car. I really do. I'm surprised I got pulled over. I really should just slow it the hell down. But I appreciate you looking. Thanks.